Hello and happy Wednesday, agents. Man, it's already Wednesday. Does this week go by super fast to you already? We're already halfway through the week. If this week has gone by fast to you, give me a like. Let me know in the comments, all right? Or is this week going by really slow? Is it dragging on? As you pop in, say hello. Let me know how this week is going for you. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of GCC TV, which, if you don't know what that means, it's Generate, Convert, Close. That's the Facebook group we're in. And TV, because TV. All right, so Generate, Convert, Close TV. Ronnie says this week is going by too fast for her. There's just never enough hours in the day, is there? Thank you for joining. And don't worry, I will DM you later. I saw your message. I'm with you, girl. I got you. I want to let you guys know, first off, today's video is how to create follow-up that actually converts. All right, today, guys, I'm gonna save you time, I'm gonna save you money, and I'm gonna help you create follow-up that actually converts, okay? So stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to give you a tip that is a surefire way 8 times out of 10 to get the other person to respond in a text message, all right? I use this as a Hail Mary type of technique, but when you need it, when you need to know if there is a pulse on the other end, this tip is going to be what you'll want to use, all right? So stick around to the end for that, all right? So if you're new here, my name is Erica Fields. Welcome. I am a real estate agent, coach, and business strategist. I help people create income, time, and simplify their businesses in 30 days or less. All right. So jumping in today, I want to let you know, before I jump in, I do want to let you know that I have 2 more strategy sessions open. So if you are hearing, if you're liking what you're hearing about this follow-up and you want to talk about how you can implement this in your business, I will help you with that with a 30-minute free strategy session. So I have 2 more of those available at any time throughout the call. You can drop call in the comments and we'll get that set up for you. All right, let's jump on in with follow-up. So you've been told time and time again, what about follow-up? What are some of those catchphrases that you've heard about follow-up? While I take a sip, let's think about some of those. Fortune's in the follow-up. Follow-up is key, right? We always follow-up boss. I mean, there's a whole CRM called Follow-Up Boss, geared towards making sure you know how important follow-up is. So the thing that we need to do, though, is not waste our time and energy on people that aren't responding by actually creating responses or emails or follow-up that get a response. All right, so we are going to, again, save time. We're going to save money. Time is money, right? And we are going to learn how to create follow-up that's actually converting. So we're going to start with follow-up's biggest mistakes. All right, I have 8 mistakes here for you. That way we can start avoiding those immediately, make those corrections, and then we can build from there. Okay, so if you are ready to go, if you are ready to move on, drop ready for me in the comments. And if you are catching the replay, watching live, let me know. All right, drop replay, live, however you are watching this video. All right, let's go on with the mistakes. Number 1. All right, number 1. One of the biggest mistakes that we can make is not putting the contact information of the person we want to follow up with in a CRM, a customer relationship management, or a CRM database, all right, along with a task, okay? Just putting them in the CRM is only getting us halfway there. We need to ensure that there's a task or a reminder to follow up with this person, okay? So mistake number 1 right then and there is not actually putting that follow-up, putting that contact in a CRM, or and then forgetting to add that reminder, okay? Put them in the CRM, then add that reminder on there as well, all right? Mistake Number 2 is having no clear intention, no clear pathway of how your follow-up will actually lead to a conversion. Okay, so it doesn't help to just shotgun different, information, just randomly throwing stuff at them, trying to get their attention because that obviously isn't working, right? If we're not getting responses, it's not working. If there's not a clear intention, not a clear pathway or idea that you have on how your follow-up is actually going to convert, that is a mistake. We want to have clear intention. All right. Number 3, not knowing, along with intention, not knowing what we're actually going to say, not planning out what we are going to say in advance. All right. One of those reasons is saving you time. All right. Because when you're sitting down to do your follow-up or do your tasks, sometimes you're in the middle of your day going through these tasks, right? You're in the middle of, you're in your car at an inspection, and you pull up the task to go ahead and complete some of those while you're waiting for everybody to show up. And the last thing you want to do is think, okay, what do I need to say? Then you may never even follow up because you don't have that intention and you're just going to move on with your life. All right? If you've ever been there, let me know. Okay, so that is a mistake, not knowing what you're going to say or when you're going to provide your next follow-up. Okay? Number 4, sending sporadic emails. So really not being consistent. And I don't just mean emails. If I say emails, I mean follow-up. The interchangeable. In general, okay? Sending out sporadic emails and not being consistent with your follow-up in general, okay? Consistency, here's why that is a problem, and here's why that is a mistake for you. With consistency builds credibility. It builds trust, okay? And when you have credibility and trust, that helps you build authority. All right, and when we build all of these things, we've heard we want to build that know, like, and trust factor. Well, being consistent is one clear way to do that. All right, in addition, another benefit of you becoming consistent with your follow-up is they expect that same level of communication throughout the transaction. And communication, as you may know, is one of the most complained about things with real estate professionals. So by you, from the beginning, from the get-go, from your actions, you don't even tell them that you are going to be open and communicative. Your follow-up has already proven that you are. All right, so following up consistently is a way to show how you're actually going to be throughout the entire transaction. All right, moving on. So be consistent. Moving on, sending follow-up with little to no value inside. All right, and if you want a good example of this, a lot of the base campaigns, if your CRM comes with templated campaigns, a lot of those do not have true value in them. Okay, for example, if you're just constantly saying, here's my website, here's properties, here's homes to see, what homes do you want to see, right? If we're just stuck on that one thing and we don't even know they want to go see a home, that is an example of sending follow-up without value. Okay, so we want to be sure that whatever we are providing provides value in some way. Okay, and we'll dig more into what that actually looks like. I will tell you right now what that does not look like. Okay, is mailers with apple pie recipes when they've never mentioned that they enjoy apple pie or baking or that they have a bakery or they enjoy desserts, right? If you haven't talked to them, apple pie recipe may not be the best piece of value for you to send. Okay, so we'll talk more about what that would actually look like here in this next segment. Okay, so sending follow-up with little to no value. Another good example of that I used to do in the beginning was, hey, the last time we talked, you said that you'd be interested in selling your house in the next 3 months. It's been about 2 months. How are things going for you? Or are we still on track to meet in the next 2 months, right? And kind of just double checking, what value does that provide to them? Nothing, right? That doesn't actually help them. They're no better with that email. They're no happier. They're no more informed. They're no more educated. So we want to ensure that whatever we are sending them is valuable. All right, moving on. Next mistake, number 6. Only sticking with one channel of communication is a big mistake with follow-up. Okay, sometimes it is so easy to send emails and text messages only and forget about the phone call, especially if they reply that way. Okay, especially if they're replying that way. Every now and then we want to mix it up. All right, get out of the habit of email only. All right, I've had people that I've sent emails only, all right, and thought everything was great, ended up calling them one day and they've already listed. Okay, so mix up that communication because the phone calls are going to be a lot more expressive communication. You get more information from phone calls for the most part. So do mix up your communication, and especially the other benefit of that is because if you're only sending them text messages, when they go into their email inbox, they won't see emails from you. And vice versa, if you're only sending them emails, when they go into their text messages, they may not see follow-up from you. Okay, but if you send emails, text messages, if you have them on your social media, right? Now they're seeing you all over the place. Okay, it's called omnipresence. It's part of being omnipresent. It's just being all over the place. All right, so when you are doing that follow-up, you want to ensure, okay, if I've sent out emails, maybe I need to go ahead and do a phone call or text message. Okay, again, creating a system that way you do not need to think about it is the best way for you to do this. All right, mistake number 7. Oh, mistake number 7, giving up too early. This is probably one of the top mistakes that people could make out there, other than number 1, which was not putting the contact information in a CRM. One of the top mistakes, guys, is stopping follow-up too early, or stopping follow-up in general. All right? Any of those big businesses out there, do they stop their campaigns with you? Do they stop follow-up with you? I was just talking about it earlier with somebody, Geico. All right, when you get insurance from Geico, do they stop airing commercials, right? No. All right, commercials go on and on and on for the rest of your life. They're never going to stop advertising to you, right? So we want to be very much the same way. How can we create this ever-going follow-up? And it's actually so easy, guys. All right, we'll talk more about it. All right, so stopping too early for follow-up, or stopping at all, or really just giving up too early, thinking, oh, no business here. It's a mindset thing, right? It's understanding long-term versus short-term opportunities. There's a lot of different things that go into not giving up on that follow-up, and really just figuring a way to follow up so that way you are always top of mind. Because the second you stop following up, guys, and time elapses and you are not following up, they will not remember. Okay, it doesn't matter how good of a relationship you have with them. All right, I always say that the ball is in your court. Okay, if you want the transaction, if you are going to be upset that somebody purchases without you, okay, then you need to have a follow-up system for them. All right, so those are the mistakes, and just to run through them real quick here, we want to make sure that they are in our CRM with a reminder to follow up. We want to make sure that we have intention, we have a clear pathway on how our follow-up can lead to conversion, how our follow-up can lead to them raising their hand. Mistake number 3, not knowing what to say or when we're going to say it before it's time. Mistake number 4 is sending sporadic emails, not being consistent with that follow-up. Remember, that consistency will build credibility and authority. Mistake number 5, sending follow-up with little to no value or being just completely irrelevant. Number 6, only sticking with one channel of communication. All right, mix it up. Text messages, emails, social media, handwritten letters, Mix it up. All right, mistake number 7, stopping your follow-up. All right, we do not want to stop our follow-up. Okay, oh, and a few bonus mistakes for you. Guys, if you have automations, if you have campaigns in your CRMs, it is a huge mistake to not be leveraging these. Okay, we hear it all the time. Leverage, leads, listings, leverage. All right, part of the leverage is using your tech. Okay, and stop making excuses for it. Oh, I'm not a tech person. I'm not, I've never used a CRM before. Whatever your excuses are, get rid of them. 80% of your sales are going to come from the 6th through 12th conversation. All right, and if your reality is not matching up with the goals that you have in your head, we need to be religious about this CRM. We need to be crazy about it, okay? And follow up in general. So, not using your automations, not using your campaigns, got to get on that. All right, so instead, what we do at Purple Elephant, what I help my clients put together is a profitable follow-up framework. All right, so we start with a base campaign that's going to work for anybody. All right, and I'm talking about your sphere of influence, people who aren't interested. All right, these are all people that we need to follow up with. They all need to be in our sphere of influence. Sometimes we kind of wait until there's a real estate conversation and then put them in there. No. We have to be ahead of the transaction, ahead of our competition. Okay, and one way to do that is by creating those relationships and maintaining those relationships in top of mind, which means that our follow-up cannot stop. All right, it is a tireless job you picked as an agent, okay? But you can do it, all right? We can make it happen. And using this profitable follow-up framework like my Purple Elephants use is a way to save time and save that money and create income, because you're going to get people to actually start listening to you, all right? So once you've created a base campaign for sphere of influence and people who aren't interested, and again, guys, I have strategy sessions, so if you're like, I don't even know where to start with that, drop call in the comments and you and I will get together or 15 to 30 minutes and map this out and show you exactly how to implement this in your business, okay? So creating that base campaign that's going to work for everybody, and here for frequency wise, let's make it super simple, okay? Because simple is always best. Here's what you can stick to, okay? Either a weekly or every 2 weeks, okay? Whatever you can commit to, a weekly email or every 2 weeks. Just be consistent with it, okay? A quarterly phone call and a handwritten letter. All right, so that means your sphere of influence, anybody who's not interested, is going to get an email from you twice a month or once a week. They're going to get a phone call once a quarter and a handwritten letter once a year. Guys, if you stick to that, and that's just minimum follow-up, if you stick to that, you are going to, number one, collect the 80% of your income that you're missing out on, and number two, you're going to nurture relationships and have an exponential business, okay? Because you're going to keep showing up in people's lives, okay? And we know that that builds momentum. All right, so weekly email, twice a month, quarterly phone call, handwritten letter. Put everybody on that campaign. All right, and the emails can be automated. You can automate those emails. All right, you can find evergreen or information that just doesn't change and put emails together, okay? Now here's the second part of that profitable follow-up framework and getting follow-up that actually converts, is using our client-centered approach. All right, oftentimes with the follow-up, what are we thinking? How do we get an appointment? How do we get a sale? So we're like, hey, let's go see homes, right? I see a lot of times on internet leads, the first thing we're offering is see homes, see homes, see homes, when internet leads are notoriously at the very beginning of their search, when they don't even know if they're going to buy or sell yet. It is likely just an idea in their head, And we often write them off, say, oh, no, they're not interested, you know, because they say that they're just looking and we don't know how to handle that, and, you know, downward spiral from there. All right, so our client-centered approach, instead of thinking with appointment first or transaction first, we think, okay, who is this person? All right, and what might they be thinking in regards to where they are in the process right now? Let's say internet leads, for example. All right, if you have internet leads, give me a thumbs up, type in internet leads, let me know what type of internet leads you have in the comments. All right, so let's say a Zillow lead. All right, they are coming in and they may not know if they are actually ready to buy or sell yet. Let's say their family is starting to get bigger and they're just starting to notice that the house is going to be a little bit too small as the kids grow up, but it's not quite an urgent thing yet. All right, they will need to sell their house in order to buy a new one, but they're not quite at the point where it needs to happen right now. Okay, so they're going to jump online, and what are they going to do? You want to put yourself in this spot. What is somebody going to do? And again, take an internet lead. They're at the beginning of the search. What questions are they asking themselves? What concerns do they have? How is this market different than the last time they might have bought or sold about 5 years ago? All right, so take a situation and take it from their point of view. What information are they searching? What are they Googling? All right, because when you can get in the mind of the seller and buyer like that, when your follow-up starts reflecting their thoughts, their concerns, their goals, that is going to get them to have a conversation with you. All right, that is what's going to say, oh man, this person's actually different. All right, so when you are building out your follow-up, before you send your next follow-up, think from their point of view. Let's take another one, for example, what other than an internet lead? How about sphere of influence, okay? You have a coworker you used to work with about 5 years ago at an old job, and they are interested in selling their house, okay? So what questions do they have? You want to anticipate, put your mind, just sit down for a moment and write out, what questions would you have if you were selling your house, if it's been a while? Man, what is it like now? You've been hearing that it's hot market, and now you've heard market crash, market shift, price reduction. So what does that mean for me as a seller? All right, because again, that follow-up is going to be more relevant than here are 5 ways to spruce up your house for selling when they're not there yet. All right, even though they've placed that lead, they may not be there. Okay, so we want to anticipate those questions, those concerns, those hesitations, those fears, those goals that they might have, and your follow-up needs to reflect that, okay? And that's something that we do with our profitable follow-up framework. So we know, and we automate it. We use the campaigns that are in our system. Well, we create our own, and we use the automation features, okay? So last little tip I wanted to share with you. I promised you guys I would give you a text message that you could send as pretty much a Hail Mary last-ditch effort to try to get a response from somebody, guys, and it is so simple, okay? And if you've heard this tip before, let me know. I'd love to know if you've heard this before and if you've used it and what your experience was. All right, those very stubborn, especially those stubborn internet leads, or somebody who's ghosted me and it's been a while and I'm really just trying to get a pulse, a bite, something. All right, super simple, guys. All you do is put their first name with a question mark. All right, so Monica, Ronnie, Bob. All right. The curiosity, I don't know if that's what it is, but people just get crazy and they feel like they have to respond. Yes, who's this? All right, that's what it is. But then you have a response and you know, oh, somebody's on the other end. All right, guys, so thank you for staying to the end of this video for that amazing tip. And if you made it this far, give me a thumbs up, drop an emoji, let me know you stayed to the end of this video. because I want to give you an extra thanks for hanging out. All right. All right, guys. So again, strategy sessions. If you would like help implementing a follow-up plan, just like my profitable follow-up framework, so you can save time, money, and energy with your follow-up and actually put together follow-up that converts, drop call in the comments and let me know. All right, guys. Next week for GCC TV, it is what is it? It's gonna be great. All right, goal setting. It's gonna be about goal setting that you have never even experienced before, and why traditional goal setting probably hasn't worked for you, okay? And what to do instead so you actually reach your goals. Who wants to create goals that they actually reach? Me. I don't know about you, but I do. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Cannot wait to see you next week. Have a wonderful day.